Hello and welcome to Un Poco Mas. My name is DannyDealz. For executive producer Hurricane Lopez, want to thank you for tuning in. It is April 20th, 2023. It is 1:45 p.m. out here on the West Coast. It is late afternoon out in the East Coast. Hope it's a great day wherever you are. I want to talk to you today about the NIO stock, ticker symbol NIO. My God, this stock has been getting hammered. Let's pull up the quote here on Yahoo Finance. We could see NIO today was down 51 cents and is up two big pennies after hours. Stock sitting at $8.30. So far this week, NIO stock's down about a buck. Huge percentage drop. Um, for the month, the stock again is down about a buck. It's been, fairly trading fairly flat, but I just want to point one thing out here with these options, these short term call options, which are just idiotic. Retail keeps buying and buying and buying these short term weekly call options and just getting their pockets picked. The stock has so much negative momentum with bad deliveries, production disappointments. I think trying to do way too much too fast before they're actually producing enough vehicles in volume for the rest of their plan to make sense. But if you just take a look at these calls for this Friday, at $8, there's almost no volume, 1,000 calls, and then at $8.50, there's 15,000 calls, and that's not open interest, that's volume. And then at $9, there's another 13,000. So these calls have plummeted in value. The $8.50 call was down 82%, and the $9 call is down 92%. So market makers just collect premium, and retail investors are just throwing it to them. I mean, they know there's not going to be production. There's not any catalyst here. Um, so I just don't understand buying that huge volume of calls for this Friday. Where's the upside on those? Like, hey, let me pay you to just take my money and kick me in the nuts. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Um, Here's where NIO is going wrong. They're not making enough cars. They keep innovating, changing models, retooling, introducing new models, talking about not one but two sub brands. They made 600 cars last week. They're not producing cars in volume. They're a blip on the production radar. Now I believe in NIO. I think the battery swap model has a huge amount of merit. I think their vehicles have excellent engineering, software. They're very user friendly. People love their interface. They have a ton of good things going for them, but in order for that to matter, you have to get people into your vehicles. And they're just not doing that right now. I know people are saying, okay, they're tooling up for the ES6. They just retooled the ET7. They're ramping up the new factory with the ET5, and the ET5 has been selling pretty well. But that kind of is your answer right there. What is selling? What can you produce in volume? You can't produce 6 models in volume. So I'm gonna just give you a brief like bullet point of what I think NIO should do to get back on track and get investors confident again. Um, Number one, I would go ahead and cut to a maximum of 4 models. Um, the one hatchback, the ES6, I would go to the ET5, ET7, and then I would focus on one SUV. And I would just cut the plan to one sub brand. Make it work for Europe and China, even if you have to brand it differently. One factory, this thing where they're going to do 2 whole sets of factories in 2 different cities. The capex is, even if you outsource the capex to the government in some cockamamie arrangement, like it's just nonsense. Like you're a nothing burger player here with a great concept and great potential, and you're already talking about, you know, doing all this stuff. People want to say NIO is the Tesla of China. Like Tesla sells 2 models that are really one model. Like the Model 3 and the Model Y are the same damn thing. It's just a different, configuration of the body and the and slightly different configuration of the cabin. It's they're selling one thing. That's why they can produce units, and that's why they can reduce costs, and that's why they can engage in these price wars and, still make a profit. So NIO has to cut down all this nonsense. Like battery in house, very important. Develop the battery. Develop swap. Um, Develop a core with NIO that you can get into production. and produce a lot of units, whether that's 3 models or 4 models, max it out at 4. Throw away the plan for the second sub brand. Let the market see you're going to be focused on building these cars in units and ramping up production. I know it's not all about pumping the stock for the short term, but the company, I know you have a lot of partnerships with the government and their cash position is somewhat secure right now and they don't have a ton of debt, but be that as it may, you cannot go out and do everything all at once while you're only selling, 10,000 cars a month on a good month. Like, they registered, the last thing I saw on CNEV Post, they registered like 600 cars for the week. So that's 100 cars a day. I mean, they were a little bit more than that the previous week, but it was like 1,300, I think. I have to go back and look. But so cut the models, cut the sub brand, cut all the BS, the phone, the futons, the furniture. Now, Neo House and stuff, the lifestyle, I get that, but just outsource all that crap. There's a lot of companies in China that make beautiful furniture and beautiful phones, and you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Like, you're already doing that. You're already making cars. Don't reinvent the wheel with everything else. That's play to your strengths. Don't cast so wide a net. Um, and then target your market more carefully. You can't do all of Europe. You're not even competing in China yet. You don't have any volume. You haven't reached scale. Your factory's not working. Your supply chain's not proven. And building out battery swaps wonderful, but going from a plan of 400 then deciding you're going to go to 1,000 overnight with like no real rationale behind it. I like 500 new battery swap stations this year, and then cut down on the build more units of cars, put that energy, put that money into building cars, simplify, simplify, simplify. um, if you're trying to learn from Tesla, and like a lot of these companies are obviously lifting certain amounts of their repertoire from Tesla. um, Tesla keeps promising more stuff, semi, Cybertruck, the economical car, but they haven't delivered any of this for years and years and years. All they're doing, Model 3, Model Y, they're barely selling of the any of the X and S because they understand that this is how you ramp production. And that's the bottom line. If NIO does not ramp production, this stock is going to fall down into penny stock territory. And it's a crying shame because NIO has so much going for it. I love their strategy. I love the product, but they have to focus. They have to do less. Sometimes less is more, Mr. Lee. And this is one of those cases. Don't try to do everything. You're not smarter than everybody else. You're a car guy, you had a car website, but you're just not smarter than everybody else. You're doing too much too fast. I need NIO to focus, or NIO is going to be in big trouble. Management's telling us they're going to do 1,000 battery swap stations in China, another 100 in Europe, and they're going to build 250,000 cars this year. DannyDealz is going to believe that when he sees it. And I'm a NIO investor. I've been in NIO for a long, long time. I believe in the vision. I believe in the product. I believe management is going to learn from their mistakes and get this jalopy back on the road. So let's see how this goes. It's going to be a rough quarter for NIO. We know that. If you can average down, if you have any cash left after we've all been getting crushed, God bless. I hope you go ahead and buy some more NIO down at this level. I'm hoping, the floor will be at least in the sevens. I don't know. I just don't see any upward catalysts for NIO right at this moment. Production is very, very weak. Their plan looks to be so ambitious as to be unrealistic, and I think they're going to have to prove some things to the market in order to get the confidence of investors back. I want to thank you for watching. My name's DannyDealz for Hurricane Lopez. This has been Un Poco Mas. We are talking NIO stock, ticker symbol NIO. Hope to talk at you again real soon. I still love NIO stock. I'm still a long-term investor, but sometimes a company has to admit they were too ambitious. They need to dial it back. They need to focus. Your duty is not just to innovation, not just to China, but your duty is also to the people who are financing and investing in the company. At least we would hope. So thanks a lot. Have a great night, everybody. We will talk at you soon.